I don't know if anybody can hear me or not. I'm hoping so. Um, I want to start this blog off. I thought I was going to have a picture up there, but it's just a blank screen, and that's okay. But I wanted to have a discussion, and I wish that I had some people on my live that I can get to ask some questions. Um, I am currently in the process of trying to do some things to get my daughter properly cared for. Um, it's been a while since I've gone live about this situation. Um, and not that I didn't want to go live about it. I just didn't have the time to devote myself to going live. Um, there's been a lot of times that I wished that I was able to do some things online, but unfortunately wasn't able to. So um, my situation with my daughter has gotten a lot worse. Her condition has not gotten better. I recently had to find a place for her to go, because she had been going from house to house and person to person trying to get a place to stay. And I have been taking care of her daughters for the longest time, and had to get them situated, and she couldn't be with me. So um, she was out going from house to house, and now we're trying to figure out from the hospital what we can do to get her better help, because I recently had to file a missing person report for my baby. It was very much so devastating for me. Um, and it was around the same time when the young lady that um be, made the fake missing person report on herself, or had her family to do it, saying that she was kidnapped. It's so strange that during that same time my daughter decided to go to a whole another state before and not letting me know. I had seen her on that Friday before she went missing, and that Sunday someone called me and told me they seen her in another state. And at first I was so angry with the person for calling me to tell me they seen her in another state. I don't know why I was so angry. I felt like if somebody saw her in another state, and being in another state is like I'm in the north and they're in the south region, and it's not that far away from us. And why couldn't try to find a way to go get her? If, you know, you know that she's in a bad situation, and it came to find out that she walked from where she was at here in the same town that I'm in to walk to another state. And she made it so far, and a nice person picked her up and took her father into the state that she went to. Um, and it was like she had the people in the area that were giving to her and helping her, but she was there for um probably until that Wednesday, or that I think it was that Wednesday. She was there that long, panhandling and getting money from people, and they were helping her to make sure that she had food. When I got her, the police, I made a police report, and the police called me and told me where she was at. And the people, they helped her out, and thank God, because I was praying so hard that somebody would come and help my baby, and that's what happened. So I was very appreciative of that. And because I had so many good people helping me to look for my daughter, she was found unharmed and everything. But as soon as I got her home, she ended up having to go back to the hospital. She was so angry with me because people were looking for her, and she didn't appreciate people looking for her. They didn't care about her while she was out in the streets walking, she said. And why do they care now? Well, a lot of people did not know her status and did not know that she was very much so ill in her mental state. Nobody knew that. They only knew they saw her walking a lot. They didn't know that she was homeless, had nowhere to go. Because she would go and stay with family members, and they would either tell her she couldn't stay, or she would just get up and leave because of her mental state. And knowing that you have a child with a mental illness and you can't really help them is a very hard thing to do. It's very difficult. I often think to myself, you know, if that was me, how would I be able to function out in the street? Because I really don't know how I would. Would I be able to do some of the things that she probably had to experience, sleep in places where she didn't want to sleep at, even though, she didn't understand the reason why she was going through what she was going through. There's so many things that happened prior to her becoming the person that she is now. And a lot of it I don't know. Um, and a lot of it I would love to understand, but it's so hard trying to talk to her because now she's in a state of delusion. She thinks that she has college degrees. She thinks that she is a lawyer. She thinks that she has all these different types of um, jobs that she didn't have. And to listen to her talk, it's like if you didn't know her, you would believe it. Those things are true. So she had been going in and out the hospital, psychiatric hospital, over, I'm going to say over 13, 14 times this year, starting in January. And we're just in the middle of the month, almost, it's the 8th month. She's been in the hospital over 12 times. And I keep talking to people about my daughter, and we live in a very small town. So when she gets home, there'll be so many people looking at her and, you know, asking me questions and asking her questions and things like that. And a lot of times it's kind of hard not to um, answer them because I don't want her to be out in the street again and nobody let me know where she is because even though I know my daughter loves me, sometimes she has a tendency to lash out to me and leave me because she wants to get away from me. But I know that she loves me. And actually, when we picked her up, my cousin and I picked her up from going to the other state that we went to. When we picked her up, I was so confused. All I wanted to do was, just let her know I loved her. And I wanted her to know, that if I did anything to would harm her or make her feel like she was, you know, missed some things as a child, I did apologize to her, even though I know that her mind is not altogether get there. Certain things, as a child, they might be triggered. You never know, what could happen to a person in their childhood, especially I'm a single mother and I had to go to work and my mother was alive at the time, but she was a pastor and she was going from church to church and doing, leaving, going out of town. And she couldn't take my daughter with her every time she went somewhere. So I had her in and out of daycare, family members and, cousins and things like that. She went and stayed with, and, you know, uh, who knows as a child what a child could go through. I know as a child what I went through, you know, um, going from house to house, as my mama worked. And I experienced a lot of negative behavior from other people. And I think, I, I, I learned a lot about myself as the older I got. And the reason why I do certain things is because of how I was groomed as a child. So I definitely always talk to my children about, people touching them. If my touch you, let me know, and things like that, But um, my daughter, it was just her and I, she and I, for the first 4 years of her life. and then I got married. So getting married was a big step. She had two stepbrothers, and she was four, and those things the little kids experience as they grow up. Who knows what happens as children? It's really hard to be a parent. And whenever I became a wife, it was a different story. I was not working as much, so I had more time to spend with the kids. And then I got pregnant with my second daughter. So a lot of times she became the second mom because she wanted to be, and a lot of times she became a second mom because she was the sister that was on the same end of the house, and I'm gonna take care of my sister. Um, if anything happened, I'm a big sister first. She was always a very, very good big sister. She helped her sister out so well. She would say now, and I would say now, she was her second mama, and so um, I feel like sometimes that might have affected. Maybe she felt like I didn't get a childhood, and then she got pregnant right after high school, right during high school, really. Her 11th, 12th grade year, she got pregnant with her first child. So she's really never had a childhood, in my opinion, because she was helping me, and then she became a mother herself in high school. And then right after she had her first child, uh, 3 years later, she had another baby. So, what, 2.5 years later, she had another baby. She didn't really have time to recuperate, I feel like. And she went through postpartum depression, and those things just added up on top of relationship issues and all of that. And now she's in the hospital, and I'm so I'm so afraid that she might not come back to her senses because of some of the things that she's experiencing. It's just like they're trying to get her to take medication. I don't even know if she's taking it at this point, but I'm hoping that she is because they have to get her to take it cold. Because if not, she's not gonna. She's gonna be there, and then they're gonna let her out again because she's refusing the medicine, and she can't stay there until I have a court date in September where I'll be able to be her guardian, and that's a whole month away. And I know they're not going to keep her in the hospital for a month. Her medical insurance is not going to allow that. So we're going to have to try to find something to do. If anybody has any suggestions, you're listening to this later on after I upload this video, if I upload this video, because I'm just really trying to test out my new computer now that I'm a little more settled down. You know, I still have so many things that I'm trying to do. I have now a 2-year old who was diagnosed with autism. So she's up in the bed, awake. And then I have my son who should be sleeping but probably is drawing right now. But anyway, this is my life. And this is going to be something I'm going to try to do more. Hopefully, I'll be able to have my camera set up where I can actually be on camera next time. So I think I've been on here for 20 minutes and counting. I think that's long enough. But that's my life in a nutshell for now. As I said, I'm trying to learn how to deal with these issues of mental illness. so taking a toll on my mind as far as, you know, I'm always saying, don't let anybody take away your happy. I'm going to be happy. But in between me being happy, I know there's going to be some struggles. It's okay. I can do this. God got me.